Hello, everyone. Welcome to the TC Lifestyle Fit Podcast. I'm your host, Tim TC Collins. We have an incredible guest here with us, Miss Andrea Taylor, aka Miss Queenie. She is an established expert in the area of customer service. She has her book. Can we see that?
Of course.
Yeah. Customer Disservice. So we're going to talk about this book, this incredible book today. And she also conducts trainings for corporate businesses and organizations to help their organizational members improve their customer service skills. So Queenie, how are you doing today?
I'm great, Tim. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for having me today. I so appreciate it.
I appreciate having you, Queenie. We all appreciate having you, and I know this is going to be a great experience for all of us, for all of our viewers. Can you tell us how you started this book, where the idea came from, and a little bit about who you are?
Sure. So Queenie, like you said, aka, but my name is Andrea Taylor, and I have been doing customer service, Tim, for forever, since I was 16. And so I always tell people when it comes to customer service, you can't call yourself a customer service expert. Somebody actually needs to call you that. Anybody who provides customer, you can greet the customer, but in order to get that title, people have to have an experience with you in order to tell that. So I started off working at PayPal. And when I worked at PayPal, I would do calls. I've been on calls my whole entire life. And when I worked at PayPal, they started asking me to come into the 90-day training. You have that 90-day probationary period that a company has to see if the job is for you or you see the job is for you. And so they wanted me to come into every class to share with people about customer service and how to conduct themselves on the phone and questions they may have. So it all started there, and just from there, it's just kind of grown into, with customer service, I believe it has a lot to do with character and who you are. I tell people all the time, you can't teach customer service, but you can train somebody how you want them to do in your organization. That is doable. You look at Chick-fil-A. One thing you're going to leave there and say,
is beast mode.
They are beast mode. You are going to leave there and everybody is going to say the same thing, my pleasure. Why they say my pleasure? Because Chick-fil-A set a platform that everybody that's coming to that organization is going to say the same thing. And it goes down to their food, which is good, and it goes to everywhere else. So that's kind of what I abide myself by.
I tell you what, Queenie is the epitome of a customer service expert, and I'll tell you why. This was back in 2007 when my wife and I were dating at the time, and I didn't want to have anything to do with God or going to church. And my wife now, she took us to a church called Grace Apostolic, just right up the street from the community center where we're at right now. And the first person I see is Queenie. And I had all this resistance built up. Why am I here? I don't want to have anything to do with the Bible, learn about God. And then you were such a beacon of a light to me. You had such a warm spirit that my resistance went away instantaneously. Wow. And I was very receptive to everyone who was pouring into me at the time. And I remember Bishop said, I don't know you, young man, and you don't know me, but that young lady you need to put a ring on her finger.
Wow. He
called me into his office and had a conversation with me for about 30 minutes on the honor of marriage and what it's like to be a man and how to raise a family. Within 2 months, Taisha and we got married.
Wow. I didn't know that story.
That's the impact of one person who has a high level of emotional intelligence, and your ability to build instant rapport with another human being. Is that a skill someone can learn, or is it naturally built into a person?
That's a great question, Tim. It is naturally built into a person, and while you were resistant to that, so you thought, that really That was just life's instances. And I tell people all the time, you may go through experiences, and that's the honor of being a person who has great character. Because regardless of what's going on, you don't know somebody's day. Somebody may have people, they get on me about saying good morning all the time. And you don't have to say it, to me, but I say it because I don't know what you have experienced throughout the day, and me telling you good morning is going to open you up, and it's going to allow me to hear if you're having actually a good morning, or if I need to prolong and do something different. Because I say everybody has something to give to somebody, whether they believe it or not. I do believe that character is something that you have to work really hard at having, and you have to want to have it. People who are just, wanting to do what they want to do, I don't know their life's experience, and I'm not judgmental of that, but I believe you as a person, like you just told me, can change the outlook of something. It may not be that you wanted to be angry or mad or have this, it's just life experiences. But you experienced something different, which allowed me to know you were open to something different, which then in turn, look at you today. Look at you today.
Thank you. How does a person build their character, though?
Yeah. So you work within. You have to review.
You have to start here.
A person that does not review themselves will never build upon their character. There's some things that society has told us are right. They're not right. We know they're not right. You as a person want to know the truth. You wanted to know the truth at some instance. I wanted to know the truth at some instance. If you do not review who you are or your daily tasks, what could I have done different? Could I have handled that situation a little differently? Could I have said something a little differently? You will never work on your character. You have to first stop and look at you. It's not everybody all the time. Some things are us. And we have to recognize that, and we have to want to change those things. And it's not an overnight thing. It's a daily thing. We have to pray daily. We have to pray daily. We have to talk to God daily. We have to do things daily. If you don't do things daily, then they're not going to become a part of you. That's why discipline is so hard. People are undisciplined because you get thrown off and you're not doing things. I do it all the time. You know what I'm saying? But if I want to stick to something, I'm going to stick to it. If you want to do something, you're going to do it. You just have to have it. It has to be within you.
Discipline is an attribute that, for most of us, if we're operating just how we feel and our emotions all the time, we'll have a hard time adopting the skills that are going to ultimately build our discipline. And before we can take on any type of leadership role, whether it's at home or if it's within an organization, you have to find the power to lead yourself first.
You do.
So,
you do. Yeah, and the it's a thin line, right? And sometimes some people don't have the capability to lead themselves. That's why you have to have people that you allow to pour into you. It's okay to not know everything. Nobody does. So if you want to learn something, if you don't know how to do something, if you need some help at something, find somebody who does it. The problem is nobody, it's hard to find sometimes somebody to share things with. I saw, as far as an entrepreneur and being an entrepreneurship, the hardest thing about being an entrepreneur is that we've never seen anybody else do it. And when we're trying to start something, we're
something
like,
unique that's never been done before.
Absolutely. We're like, where do we start? Nobody knows where to start. And then when you ask somebody who's been there, some people think that you're going to take over where they're left off. No, I'm just asking because you do it so well. But the gift, Tim, that you have, the gift that I want to share, that I have in customer service, is I know it. Why am I not sharing it? I have to. These young kids out there who are coming out of high school, who don't have a resume, who don't know what to put on a resume, who don't know, how to start a job, how to conduct themselves, because they go into a workplace that think that everything's okay. How do I get above the road? What do I ask for as far as pay? There's a lot of different things they need to know. There's a lot of things I can tell them. I hire. I've let people go. I've trained.
What's the hardest part about letting someone go? Because as a leader within an organization, your goal is to give people opportunities to succeed.
Yeah.
However, there is a certain level of standard that needs to be maintained for the organization to reach their goals. And if there are individuals who aren't willing to put in the work required,
Yeah.
the outcome is maybe finding someone else who's able to do that job at the level necessary. Like, how does it feel
That's a great question.
as a leader when you have to have that conversation with someone?
That's a great question. I've had several conversations, and my thing is this. No one should ever be surprised that they are about to be let go.
Mm-hmm.
It should always be, you
Mhm.
have tried
Mhm.
with this person,
Mm-hmm.
and essentially, you're not letting them go. They let their self go. Because
I
you've
see.
given the opportunity to say,
They
hey,
missed out on the opportunity.
I gave you this,
Mhm.
I gave you that, I gave you that.
Mhm.
But see, things can go twofold. With companies,
Mm-hmm.
you can't require something out of somebody and you don't have standard operating procedures.
Mhm.
If you want a person to actually abide by the rules that you say your organization has, you have to have it outlined.
Mm-hmm.
So a person may not necessarily know that I'm supposed to be doing A, B, and C because you don't have it set anywhere. But you're yet expecting something out of them. You can't. There's nothing that you can expect because you haven't said anything for it. But for a person that is outlined for and you say, hey, this is what we're going to go over. This is how we conduct business in our organization. This is how I want you to act. Then you're able to actually go back to show them, hey, at this instance, that wasn't done. At this instance, that wasn't done. I give everybody ample chance because my thing is my first point of reference is, you don't know. We can't, when at organizations today, they have other people training people. What if they're doing it wrong? What if they're not doing it based on the guidelines? So now this person is doing something that's wrong and you're like, who showed you that? Well, you let somebody else train them. They showed them that. So if I'm actually showing you and I'm saying, here it is, and you don't do that, then the only person that was let go, you let yourself go from the organization. And I wish you well because I believe that every job is not for everybody. There's a perfect job, but it might be the wrong timing. There's different things that happen, but that's okay. I still support you. You just are not good for this position.
Wow, that principle or concept reminds me of what I read in the first chapter of your book.
Yeah.
You're talking about an employee who shows up to their job 8 minutes late
Yeah.
every single day. And I've always been told when you show up early, that's on time.
Yeah.
When you show up on time, that's late. And then
Yeah.
when you show up late, that's unacceptable. So
Yeah.
what do you do with people like that?
Yeah, so, you can't expect everybody to do the same. Some people drop kids off in the morning, go to work, and they're going to be right there at 9. That's fine. You're ready to begin. You have other tasks that you have beside. I believe a work-life balance is essential.
Exactly, yeah.
For me, that's reviewing yourself, right? You have to know what your capability and what your tolerance level is. I don't like going into the day not knowing what's going to happen. I don't. I like to be prepared for the day before it starts because that means that I'm prepared for whatever is about to come my way. If I'm just starting, and somebody's starting to ask me a question, I'm going to be frustrated because I'm like, you know what? I need to be ready for you at my best. I'm at work an hour and a half, almost 2 hours early every day.
I'd go to war for someone like this. I would definitely follow Queenie.
Yeah,
She's an incredible leader.
I'm there. I'm prepared today. And I don't have to talk to my providers can speak on my behalf. They don't have to worry about not one thing. I'm there because I want to give my best customer service. And you cannot give customer service to external people and you're not giving it to your internal people, which is the people that you work for. There's no way that you can do it. You have to give customer service around the board. You have to be able to talk to people that's in your workplace, and you have to be able to talk to people outside of the workplace. Because what happens is, if you are not treating your internal people, which is people you work with, right?
You work
It's
with
going directly with your HR person, your providers, or your teammates, whoever. You can't have a brawl and then all of a sudden think that it's going to be okay. It's going to reflect with your external customer. They're going to know you are at war. So it just it's all the way around. And you have to, it's something that it's a skill, and it's something that everybody can do. And you know what? We feed off of the energy of everybody. If you have good energy, if you're treating me right, if you're kind to me,
positive energy.
If you're good morning, or you don't even have to say good morning. It could be a smile. It could be whatever God has you do that day. You know, it could be different for everybody. It is going to reflect not only in that you're going to be happy, you're going to want to come to work, you're going to be joyful. Sometimes pay is not the determining factor for a person coming to your organization. Pay could be the least factor. If I have peace where I'm going,
that's right.
I know the pay can follow me, right? That's just that.
It always follows the gift.
It always follows the gift. It always follows the gift, and there are certain factors that you look for and qualities that you look for in a work environment. You know.
Wow. I've never seen a fisherman use ice cream or candy as bait.
Right.
So which tells me, as customer service experts, we need to focus on what the customer's needs and wants are, not what we want or need.
Right.
How does a leader adopt that mindset?
Yeah, you know, it's for a leader first has to understand that everybody is different.
Everyone is different, right?
You are not going to, as a leader, everybody is not going to be the same person. You have to, even when you're training somebody, when I gave positions to people, I knew that they were particularly skilled in that certain area. So that's what I gave them. I knew they would be happy. I knew they would do it well. I knew that would work for them.
Exactly.
So as a leader, you have to be. I am a leader I'm a servant leader, and a servant leader actually serves those people who are underneath them, and I serve
put others first.
Yeah, and they also serve them with the things that they know that are going to fill them up. And so, as far as customers go, customers actually, everybody essentially wants the same thing. How you go about it is going to be different for all. Some customers, you can't go right into what the issue is. You first have to, they want to know that you actually care about the issue.
Make sure people care before they invest in you or in your services. They need to know that you care about them.
Absolutely, they're coming to you for a reason. When I went to Rwanda, everybody was selling the same thing. What made each person different, Tim? They were selling the same thing.
Some were successful and some probably weren't as successful.
Why they weren't?
Because their attitude, right?
First of all, they knew, the people who got me to purchase something knew the worth of, first of all, having a customer. They knew that in order to get what they wanted to sell me, it was good morning, it was a smile, it was high, it was excitement, it was joy, they were selling the same thing. They would come up to me, hey, you told me this, you told me that, you told me this. They became memorable. That was the thing.
So customers are invested in your energy. You can have an incredible product or service, but if the service or product provider isn't also delivering on their positive energy and have a genuine care for the people they serve, there's going to be a disconnect between the two parties.
Everyone around the world has experienced a terrible situation with customer service, which has sometimes prompted them not to go back to where they had that bad customer service, which I am a person of that sort. I believe when I am coming into your place of business, there has to be a part of you. But I'm not just coming for the product that I'm coming for. I'm also coming for the service. And if I don't receive the service,
coming for the product and the service. I never heard it like that before.
Yes. You're providing me a service. Your service is to first service that in need, me as the customer, and then the product. Why? Because that means that I'm going to go tell somebody else about my service. You're just not providing the service to me.
Word of mouth.
Yeah, you're providing the service to whomever I'm going to talk to, and I may know tons of people. And if I don't give the word that's going to be a lack on your part. And that's when working for somebody, everybody's not, everybody, I feel some people have to be an entrepreneur for themselves. But some people, they can also work. I believe every person should work under somebody, because in order for you have to follow. You have to lead. You have to follow. There's no way you're going to get out there and you never followed anybody that you're going to be successful. I'm letting you know that. You have to first gain skills.
Trust with small before you can gain something greater. You have to learn skills in order to be an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur, you're doing something out there. You're by yourself. In order to be an entrepreneur, it's a risk. A risk that you're taking to say that I'm going to go out here and do this thing, and I'm going to build it up. And it's really not you building it up. It's your character building it up. It's who you know up above who's building it up. But you are just being chosen to actually go out there and do that. You have to have skills to have. There's too many other people that's doing it. For you to think that you're going to just do it and not do it haphazardly. I mean, somebody else can do it better. So you have to work on it. You have to work internally. You have to know that this is something I'm called to do. I'm supposed to do it, and I want to give this to you. I tell you what, Queenie. So this will be my 10th year in entrepreneurship, and I've had a whirlwind of ups and downs. Anybody who's in entrepreneurship is going to experience that.
Absolutely.
However, what has sustained me during those moments was keeping God first. Because that was the only way. In moments where it didn't look like we were going to make it, God always found a way to make sure that I was taken care of. And that's one of the number one principles that I live my life by. If I seek the welfare of other people, the people God has called me to serve, God has to make sure I'm taken care of, because I have something that he needs me to do. How do we help people understand that we need faith that goes along with our works? However, God is like the number one facilitator of everything that we do.
Well, God is a facilitator. And Tim, I think, a lot of times we know what we're capable of doing. We know, but at some point, the capacity level of when you're out there doing entrepreneurship, you are going to get overwhelmed. And at some point, you are going to want to quit.
That's how you know you're on the right path.
Yes,
right?
that's how you, look, as you see, you said 10 years. It takes time to build up on things. It takes, you experience so much that the fight in you kept going. Yes, you may want to quit, but let me tell you something. I've been serving God for I don't know how long.
Come on, Queen.
And trust me when I say there's times I didn't know how I was going to be a mother. There's times I didn't know how I was going to be a person who was working under somebody. There's times I didn't know how I was going to be a woman. God, there's times where I didn't understand, and even but God, He has to be first and foremost, because He knows the plan. If you're not talking to Him, you ain't gonna know the plan.
He's gonna get what He wants anyway.
He's gonna get what He wants anyway, and hopefully He's gonna get it out of you and not somebody else. So know that we are replaceable. All of us are replaceable. You are not. Trust me. You are not. You are needed for what He purposed you to do, but He can replace, and that's how I try to live my life. Honestly, Tim. I don't ever want somebody else to do what I'm supposed to be doing. That's why I'm here and consistently does it. That's what pushes me. My kids push me. People who I know who are attached push me to be who I am supposed to be. I ain't did it by myself.
She pushes me. She pushes me.
I did it with the help of so many saints, so many people who love me, my parents. I mean, I've done it with you. We have all done it with people. And for those who think that there is nobody who cares or nobody who's not going to push you, Tim is here. I'm here. Whatever you need. I may not know it, but I'm sure to be helpful in some capacity. I promise you.
You are so amazing. Thank you for those words of encouragement, Queenie.
Absolutely.
Can you tell us about your recent acquisition of real estate that you acquired in Rwanda?
Sure. So, it's always good that people are at the place they're supposed to be at. See,
Yeah,
that we don't
yeah.
understand or realize what timing and what somebody else is supposed to be, how it's tied to us. And why I say that is because my daughter, she lives in Rwanda, Nandi, and she, she went down there. She was called to do it. She started just a nonprofit investment fund called the Simpson Fund. And what it is really is
The Crystal Simpson Fund.
yeah, the Crystal Simpson Fund, which was derived from a beautiful soul, Crystal Simpson, who was an amazing educator.
Impacted my life
Yes.
for many years.
Amazing educator, but even a more amazing person.
Yes, she was.
And so Nandi had to live on to that dream. So it's an investment fund, which she's getting funding for, and the funding actually helps in social, economic, but also helps with things that are needed. And it's for ages 15 to 25, and what they're looking at kind of is if they need money for poverty, for trade schools,
Wow.
for
Amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing.
water and energy,
Amazing.
anything that's needed to help to help grow the economy for these age groups. And so she went down there to start that, and so I went down there and I'm like, this is absolutely beautiful. I have got to have a part of this this land of rolling hills. And so I purchased land.
Hopefully one day we'll be able to go visit.
Absolutely, anytime. I purchased land along with a few others, and I'm just ready to just expand. I absolutely love it. It's an amazing place. It's a very humbling. The people are they make you realize what you have, and that it is an absolute blessing to and even
Appreciate what you have in your life right now.
Appreciate. Sometimes
Appreciate.
it doesn't matter how small. It doesn't matter. We don't have to, we don't have to have something big. Everybody's, I believe, whether you think that, you are worth something. Trust me. You're worth something. What you have in you is worth something. It doesn't matter if it's a hug, it doesn't matter if it's a high, it doesn't matter if it's a whatever the case may be. Everybody has something that they do well. And if you think you don't, I'm sure somebody can tell you what it is, because you do. To give. It doesn't have to be something big. It doesn't have to be a whole bunch of money. It can just be you. It can be your essence. It can be what you have. It can be your prayer. It can be your hand. It can be your hug. It can be whatever. So when I went, I'm grateful for the land, but I hope that everybody gets to experience it. It's something everybody should experience, for sure.
Wow, that's so amazing. I learned that 70% of the world's most arable land is in Africa. And that the life expectancy has increased by 10 years, so the people there are working really hard to improve their lifestyle and the economic structure. When you were over there, what are you noticing about how people interact with each other in terms of their mental health, their wellness, and its business in general?
Well, that's a good question. So I was in Kigali, Rwanda, and in Rwanda, the genocide happened. So there is a lot of.
When was that? 19.
It wasn't. I think it was 85. It was. I think it was.
There was a movie about that called Hotel Rwanda.
Yeah, I think. Don't put me on the date.
Hutus and the Tutsis, I believe.
Yeah. Yes.
Same people.
Yes.
Warring against each other.
Yeah.
The distortion that the enemy puts in those negative thoughts that he puts in our minds that force us to attack each other is real.
Yeah, you know what? Hey, it's real when you think, and especially when you're fighting over something that it. In Rwanda, just going on to the land itself, I was just amazed that these people were still standing. Because if we realize that the land that they were on, there was people slain on that land. That's what it left. It left an aura of pain. It left an aura of hurt.
They maintained their stance.
They stayed. So to see people when I went to the market, to see people who was so joyous and so happy, and so they didn't have a lot, but they had a lot. If that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? And they
have what they need.
They have what
for
they
right
needed.
now.
Yeah, they had what they needed, and they was willing to share that with me, even not even having a sale yet. I promise you, that was my spot. When I came in, it was all, hey, and and it was just amazing. So mental health, I think just there, obviously there's so many tons of services and help that they need, but Tim, that's everywhere.
Here in America, you can go to London, you can go anywhere in Europe.
That's everywhere.
Health
That's
is a need.
everywhere.
It's a worldwide need.
That's why everybody who knows their gift, who has their gift, who's willing to share their gift is needed. That's why. Because we need each other. We are not our own. We are not our own. We serve others.
We are not here for ourselves.
No, we are not.
Wow. So tell me more about how being in Rwanda impacted your overall health. What were some activities you were able to do in terms of, like with exercise or walking, connecting with other positive people? What did that experience do for you, the overall scope of your health?
Yeah, so I will say this. I felt my best at Rwanda. Why? Because I think it's important for us to take time for ourselves to figure out what we love and what we're passionate about, and with those things we should not be not filling ourselves up. Because when we give out, we have to find a place to fill back up. You can't continue to give when you don't have anything within you. And I also believe there's times where you need to just step away so that you can remember that you yourself is important too. Everybody's important, but you yourself is important too. So it allowed me to be able to just not worry about work, not worry about what I left behind, not worry about bills, not worry about. It allowed me to see the beauty and reflection of God in Rwanda, because it is peaceful, it is beautiful, it is sustaining. I got to walk. I walked tons. Because it's.
How many miles would you say every day? I mean, because you're there, people usually either walk or they're riding bikes. They still have their transportation.
Rode a motorbike.
Motorbike.
So there's probably 3 to 4 or 5 miles a day. Just walking everywhere.
And that's something everyone has access to, whether you're in Rwanda or you're here in Omaha, Nebraska. If you are having a difficulty identifying what you need to do to build your health, focus on something that's easy for you to do right now. Even if that is getting up, putting some walking shoes next to the door, and then going outside in nature, enjoying the fresh air. Go for start with a mile walk, and then as you get stronger, go for a 2-mile walk, a 3-mile walk. Then maybe once that gets easy, you take it a step further and start doing some push-ups, doing some sit-ups, but get your body moving. That's the idea. Right?
You know what? Once we get our body moving, the thing about movement is I remember, someone telling me, you know what? Don't be in the same spot you were in 10 years ago. That's being stagnant.
Oh, that's so good.
That's being stagnant.
With our health. That's everything in our life, right?
And don't let somebody find you in the same spot.
Don't let someone
because
find you in the same
they
spot.
will try to pick you off in that spot. Because they know you haven't grown. And really what it boils down to, sometimes we don't even know that we're in depression, because it's that state of I'm tired. I can't move. So I don't care if you roll off the bed and walk to the door and decide to walk around the table.
That's a step in the right direction.
You walked. Sometimes it's hard to get out of that spot, but I'm gonna tell you what. Once you learn it, once you do it, and sometimes you can't plan for it. I'm telling you, if you decide that, okay, it's not in my schedule, I can't do it, then it's not in your schedule and you can't do it. That's what you'll keep telling yourself.
Do what you can, right?
But if you tell yourself, it may not be in my schedule, and I don't think I got the time, but let me tell you what, if I have to wake up 5 minutes early, if I have to go and act like this is a task that is built into if I have to take my 15-minute break that I don't take at work because I'm still gonna work and I'm just that don't make me no difference. Yes, it does. Get up, go to your 15-minute break, do your walk, come back and see what it does. Because what's gonna happen is you're gonna say, wait a minute, I was missing out on something. Whether it be the sun, whether it be that part of you that lets you think about what you need to be doing, you're gonna do it. You're gonna do it. We'll make the time for what we need to make the time for sure.
That's so good. Make time, take action on your health. Can you tell us about some of the nutritional experiences in Rwanda? What are some of their habits like?
Oh, that's a great question, Tim. So Rwanda, they have they have all the same foods that we have here.
McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell.
So they have KFC.
Oh, KFC.
I didn't see a McDonald's or Burger King, but what I can tell you that is everything is out the ground fresh. What you gonna experience is Nadi's.
Even at KFC.
Yeah. Nadi's help. She always comes up. She's like, Mom, this is processed food or whatever the case may be. Everything we get is out the ground. Their cabbage, their mangoes, everything that they have is fresh.
Amazing.
And it is so nutritious. And so when I went out, it's very healthy, extremely healthy down there. And they don't have like a lot of the seasonings that we use or whatever. It's enough. They don't like to put the overly to do stuff. They'll allow you to do it for yourself, but how they cook, and then they do have some foods that they have, different types of food, that they have too, Indian food and all that different types of stuff, which is spicier, different types of flavorings, but yeah, it's very healthy.
Yes, that's amazing. So everyone, your body is a multitude of organ systems, including your heart, your brain, your colon, your kidneys, your pancreas, that are all competing for energy. And the absolute only way for you to maximize your nutritional potential is through eating ample amounts of fruits and vegetables every single day. So Queenie, what are some fruits and vegetables that you are incorporating into your diet right now? As someone who is a high impact leader, you need that moxie to keep going.
Yeah, look at Tim put me on the spot, y'all. No.
It's not about being perfect, but I still like for you to share some basic principles that you do right now in the stage you're at in your life that helps you be productive throughout the day in terms of some foods that you eat.
And I'm glad you asked me this question because you guys take care of yourself and your health, because I've had a few health concerns, and it was how I was eating. You can't eat everything. There's no way you're going to continue to eat, Popeye chicken or whatever every day and it not affect your body. It's just going to happen.
Unless it's from Rwanda.
Well, they're not frying foods. You know what I'm saying? Most of their stuff is,
Even at the KFC or Popeyes,
so
they don't fry it.
I didn't go to KFC, but I will tell you from their foods, it's either grilled. A lot of their stuff they do a lot of grilled. But what I will say is I had to change my health. I had to make changes to my health.
Make adjustments.
So why I am eating well is only because of what I experienced. So I do eat. I wake up with with my toast, eggs, and my yogurt and my coffee. That then for lunch I have my salad, and with a little bit of chicken, or I can. It just depends on. I like soups too, so I eat soups or whatever. But I have smoothies, fruit smoothies. I love mango.
Oh, I love mango. With any mango and banana blended with anything. It's
the
so
best.
Delicious. It is.
Bananas. I eat. So I eat pretty. I
Keep
eat
it simple.
pretty well.
Keep it simple, right?
Yeah.
That's a simple meal plan.
Yeah, I eat pretty well. And you know what? You don't have to have it. You don't have to change it up. If you know it works, why are we changing it? You can have different foods. Don't get me wrong. There's sometimes I may splurge out if I go out, with work or whatever, and may have something different, But just know your body. Your body talks to you. It tells you what it needs, and so just listen to it. Just listen to it.
Amazing, Queenie the extraordinaire. What's the most important principle you want everyone to learn from your incredible book, Customer Disservice, before we wrap up our podcast?
For sure. So the book is called Customer Disservice: Untold Stories of Customer Service Representatives Who Would Do Better If They Knew Better. And so the main point of the book is it's funny because all these titles that I have in there, good morning, you think this is rock science, whatever, are all thoughts that I had when I started.
Good morning. That's chapter 2.
It's all thoughts I had when I started customer service at the age of 16.
Oh, wow.
Like, why are these people asking me these questions? Like, what is going on? So they're all thoughts in my mind that I had, but then realizing as I got into actually serving people and not myself, because I work just to have money. when I was younger. I just know there was things I wanted to do. But as I got older, I was working to actually serve others. So know that the most important part of this book is that you are there when you are doing customer service. You are there to provide a service. It has nothing to do with what you want to do. It has everything to do with what needs to be done, what that customer is asking for. You may not know the answer to it, but I'm telling you how you respond to the question is what's going to make a difference.
Wow. Okay, one final question,
Yeah.
Queenie. If you were to convert your book into a movie, who would be your top 2 co-stars?
I thought about this.
Yeah.
Chris Tucker.
Oh yeah, Chris Tucker for sure.
I actually wanted him to actually
Me and
do
Chris
the
Tucker.
voice in the Chris Tucker.
That would be hilarious.
I reached out to him too because I was like, that would be just the best because it's so funny and he would just do it so well. And I honestly don't know who the other person would be because that's all I thought about was Chris Tucker. But for it's actually being made into actual course and workbook at this time. So I really would like organizations or anybody who's interested in me coming to teach ethics in their organization. I would be interested in doing that. So something that I have a passion about.
Excuse me. How can they reach you, Miss Queenie?
Yeah, so I have my own website. It's called atspeakingonpurpose.com. And Speaking on Purpose is from, and the acronym is SOP, because we all have to have a standard operating procedure, and that's kind of why I did Speaking on Purpose. So, yeah.
Wow, awesome. Wise words from Miss Queenie. Thank you for gracing our podcast with your presence. So everyone, we thank Miss Queenie for being here. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment on this video, and share it with other people. In the meantime, continue to have fun, continue to live your best life like Miss Queenie, and step out of your comfort zone and catch something good.
Yeah, thank you for having
All right.
me, guys.
Thank you all for tuning in. Oh, thank you so much, Queenie.
Absolutely.
All right. Flex those muscles, and we'll see you all soon.